this happened 6 months ago. I'm 6 months postpartum. My baby is 6 months old, and now only am I doing my story time. Hi guys. Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to JustKurlz. Thank you so much for tuning back in. My name is Filia. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you enjoy the content and you subscribe and you join the squad. And for my returning subscribers, welcome back, Kurl-squad. Sorry about that. Welcome back, Kurl-squad. Thank you so much for tuning back in. You guys are just my people. You guys are my people. Okay, so yes, as you can probably tell by the title, I am going to finally do my labor and delivery story after 6 months. So this happened 6 months ago. I'm 6 months postpartum. My baby is 6 months old, and now only am I doing my story time. But I've tried to film this video so many times. It just hasn't worked out. Something always went wrong. So hopefully this will work out and this will be it. Okay, let me just let you know the rundown. So I will be talking about my the story of my labor and delivery. So when I was still at home, like the early labor, and then at the hospital, and then what happened after that, and then I will tell you guys the baby's name and the meaning and like how we chose it. Yeah, so let's go. Okay, so I wrote some notes here so that I can remember and not just talk around in circles, because I tend to do that. So I wrote a few notes here. So if I'm looking down, I am just looking at what I wrote, and so that I can properly articulate it to you guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's get started. Okay, so let me start with a doctor's appointment. So this was a week before baby came. Was a Monday. We went to the doctor because I think later on in my pregnancy I started going to the doctor like every week. I think from 36 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. From 36 weeks pregnant, I started going to the doctor every week, right? So when I was at 38 weeks, yes, I was 38 weeks, but then that Thursday I was turning 39 weeks. So 38 weeks, almost 39 weeks, right? We went to the doctor, and as usual, he just did a little sonar to check if everything was okay. And then he realized that, okay, so just so you know, before that, when we had spoken to the doctor, we decided that we're gonna go for a natural birth, right? Whether it will take long or not, that's what we decided to go for. So cool. That's what our decision was. That's where we stood. And then so that a week before now, when we were 38, almost 39 weeks, we went to the doctor. We went on I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday. And when we went there, he did a sonar, and then turned out that the baby was head down, but like facing the wrong side. Was not facing the right way. So usually the baby is head down and is facing the mom's back, right? So but now my baby was facing up, like was facing like, I guess, my stomach instead of So we were back, if that makes sense, instead of like how it's supposed to be. So this is my back. The baby's supposed to face the back, but then the baby was facing up like this. And then the doctor said that ideally it is not good to do a natural birth when the baby's facing like that, because it also could be dangerous. And yeah, I don't now remember really specifics why it was the baby was not supposed to face like that, but that's not the ideal position the baby should be in. So yeah, then the doctor just said that okay, before we make any like rash decisions, we're just gonna come next week Monday, and then we're gonna check if the baby has changed positions or not, and if not, then we're just gonna decide on like the way forward. So yeah, so that's what happened that week at our last doctor's appointment, right? And then on the Sunday, this was the 11th of September 2022, on the Sunday. So by this time I had stopped going to church. I stopped going to work. I would just literally just be at home all day, or like go over to my sister's place, you know, in times when I was bored or whatever. So yes, so I was at home, and I don't know why, but I just started cleaning the cupboard under the sink in the kitchen. So like I took everything out, and then I was wiping down, cleaning, of course. And I think that's the first time I felt like some contractions, some whatever. So by this time I'm 39 weeks. It's a Sunday. I was turning 40 weeks, like full term on the Thursday, right? So I was then cleaning, and then I could feel some like contractions. Obviously I didn't know what if that they were contractions. I had read up on them, and like what labor feels like, and you know, water breaking, cervical mucus, all of this. I read up on it. I did not lose my cervical mucus yet. And if you hear the baby screaming in the background, I'm so sorry. She's very vocal. Honestly guys, I was ready for this baby to come out. I was ready. I was like ready, you know. So I read up on all of that, and the only like sign of early labor that I had was like I had a running stomach, so I had a little bit of diarrhea. And I also I was like dizzy a lot and stuff. So but I was like that for like a couple of weeks. So yeah, you know, I had no idea when the baby would come exactly. And so then so the Sunday, right, I was cleaning. My husband had gone to church by then. So I was cleaning the cupboards. You know, I don't know if I cooked us lunch or whatever. I was cleaning the cupboards, and then I went and I took a shower, and then I could feel like tightness in my stomach. But I didn't think anything of it, because I thought, or the thing that I read about in my mind was that contractions are painful. They feel like period cramps, but worse, right? And they'll get worse as the time goes. So I would feel tightness in my stomach a bit, and then it would go away, and then, but I don't. It wasn't really painful for me. It felt uncomfortable. It felt like something, like a cramp, but like a mini cramp. But it wasn't really painful for me. Keep in mind that I have like migraines, so I feel like my pain tolerance is like really, really high. So I think that's why I didn't recognize them for what they were, because they didn't feel as painful as I expected them to, right? So this is still early labor at home. Wondering like, what is this? Is this like you know, I was so confused. I was like going through my mind, like, is this it? But then I'm like, no, it's not. So I could feel like them, but they were pretty far apart at the time. And then, but obviously I had like a little app, a contraction timer app, which I'll just put right here. And so I would just like track the things, you know, track. And then so the exact times are on the timer. On the app. I just don't have it right now with me. I should have had it, but I don't have it right now to show you guys or to read off it, but like right there. Okay. And so then my husband had gone to church, and then he had rehearsals after that, and then there was like a meeting he had to go to, so he was gone like all day. So then he came, I think he came around like 7-8 o'clock there, and he had brought food along, so I didn't have to cook. And he came, and then I told him that I think I'm having contractions, but I'm not sure. And he's like, oh, really, why? And then I showed him the app, and I was like, oh my gosh, this and this and this, and I'm feeling it, and blah, 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 blah. So then we just continued normally. We were sitting, we were eating, we were watching, I think we were watching Friends or something. And then we got visitors. My in-laws came to visit us, and then obviously I trying to get up, and just imagine, guys, I'm like heavily pregnant, so me trying to get up, I spilled my drink on the seat. So cool. My husband opens the door for my in-laws, and the first thing he says to them is like, yeah, she's going into labor. And they come into the sitting room, and then they see me, and they see this whole puddle, and they're like, did your water break? What? And I'm like, no, it didn't break or anything. But like I just spilled water. But like my husband was very insistent that yeah, she's going into labor, and I was just there like, no, I'm not. Honestly, it's nothing. Because I don't know, it did not feel like how I expected it to feel. But of course the pain started going up, and by the time they were there, it felt like my period cramps. And the thing is, it was like not like taking hours or whatever. I don't know, it just didn't, as you can see, it just didn't seem, I thought it would be like growing, but sometimes it would be 4 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, you know what I mean? It was not like, it was really 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then like 6 minutes, and then 3 minutes, you know what I mean? It was not like a steady thing, so I did not think it was what it is, right? So yeah, my in-laws then left. So while they were here, everybody's talking, like, you know, having a good time, and I was like not really participating. I was like blank. So obviously at this time the pain was getting like more and more, but it was still very, very tolerable. And then they left. I think they left around like 11 o'clock or so. Yeah. And then we tried to go to sleep, but then I just couldn't sleep, because every time I tried to sleep, then I would feel it, and I'm like, okay. So it was starting to get a little bit more painful. So I'm like, okay, this might be it. I'm not sure. So my husband was like, you know what, let's just go to the hospital, and if it's not it, they'll tell us to go home, and we'll go home. And I'm like, cool. So by this time I had packed my hospital bag already, but I did not like have essentials like toothpaste, all those stuff that we were using, and I was also supposed to like sit down and film and show you guys what's in the hospital bag. I think I was gonna do that the next day, so yeah, I didn't get the chance to do it. So I'll just show you guys a clip of like the scene at home, because then he called our doctor, and then he told, and this was like what, 1 a.m 12 a.m 1 a.m. He called our doctor, and he's there like, no, her contractions are this many apart, what, and then he's like, I think he said 4 minutes apart or so. Then he's like, if they're 4 minutes apart, go to the hospital, take her to the hospital now. And obviously at that time I'm still like, no babe, we can wait longer, it's not a big deal, what. But like he was insistent on like going. So then he called his brother, and then his brother and his wife came over, and then they were just helping us pack up every last minute thing. And yeah, you guys will see in the video how it was.
What's happening, guys? Kritika is stressed. Yeah. Kritika.
Come.
Babe,
I'm calm. Make me up.
Oh my gosh.
It's happening. Is it happening or not? Why did he say you go to the hospital?
This one just
Because they are like very close.
But are you in pain?
Yeah.
she's yavemi njanje nokumba kukosha yotonano.
That's why it's on the charger.
We
will be called. Send back home. Just take. Oh my God.
calm down, bro.
It's happening, guys. I'm so excited. Yeah, he's awake. Watching you guys.
Oh my gosh, babe, calm down.
It was him. It was him. Him throwing everything on the bed for me. Pena yangu imapaho vetuepen plaga.
Mine is C type. That's the fastest charger you have for anything. It's way faster than that.
Good for them.
This was C type. It was
Look how long it. I think you just went too far calling.
Oh, he called. Is at the hospital?
No, he was sleeping. He told me that it's 3 minutes apart.
It is. Some of them are 3 minutes apart.
Yes,
some of them are
yes,
5
but
to
like
6.
man,
And remember, he said
look how
anything
long.
under.
Look how long it's been.
He
Now.
said anything under 10 minutes.
Yeah, but look how long it has
But
been.
you are
Now.
probably already dilating. You are saying, look how long.
No, really, Hona, you could get to the hospital and you could
And
be
then they
crowning. No, really.
He said, oh, baby, I want. I need to look up. Please.
No, babe, calm.
You calm down. She. Calm down. You calm down.
Did you see how he was throwing the things on the bed? Makume kutuna.
They are apart. They are not even.
What do you think I'm doing? Why do you think I picked up the camera? Come on, screw y'all. Kudike nje kupa mkaindwe pai. Puna papenu mbamba. Elijah. Elijah ta mama hona kwetu.
Ngwarara. Good. Masha katana kwa maki warara.
Elijah ta mama hona kashimaki yanu.
Ba kushime ogozo kono ba tibi.
Baby sister is coming. Did you expose to your people?
I'm just saying you should calm down. Yes, they're sore, but they're not that sore. I mean, okay, they're sore, but like.
The fact that they are less than 10 minutes apart is a little alarming to me. He's so stressed out. He was throwing the things on the bed. I'm like, what is happening? Kachikawa. Guys, Elijah is fast asleep while his baby sister is coming into the world. Elijah, kashimakia. Kashimakia, kashi. Kashimakia.
Waking people up is pretty bad. Did you even take my toothbrush?
Hona, waking people up when you are in labor is not great. So what are we doing now? We're packing cosmetics.
Baby.
Hona mokram. Mo jira vya bobe. Is it time?
I'm pretty sure we'll be sent back.
I told you so. Wednesday. I told you Wednesday gonna go there. Nipple cream. She nipple cream makanji go. Big MP. What is this? Elijah. How about that? Number good. Faz jogar fruto cartuga.
Para os moleques muito de cara.
I'm post. This is them. I think I packed them.
And then Kudike also needs cosmetics. Because he's gonna stay the one night.
Maybe I'll take the toothbrush. I wasn't gonna take this, but oh well.
How many baby outfits did you pack?
Yeah, remember I said I packed a lot and I was gonna remove.
You never removed. It's fine. Better to have more than not enough. Okay, you guys. So this is her handbag. There's father to be very stressed out.
Screw you.
So lucky of my brother. You're lucky.
Screw y'all.
Screw y'all.
Did you call your mom? Did you call Mama? What did they say? I'll show you. What do you need?
Is that my charger?
Yeah, we can. I don't know whose charger.
Yes.
Yeah. Should I quickly take her to the car?
Yes, please.
Okay. Everyone's just scrambling at this point. Hannah, did you shave? You did, okay. Because if you didn't, then they do it for you. They do it. They do it.
Where's our kid that closes nicely?
Guys, they're leaving.
Okay, there you go, Anna, there you go.
Good night, guys.
All the best.
We'll probably come back.
Or not. Or you'll come back with a baby.
I don't think they're coming back.
I don't think they're coming back either. Your handbag and
I don't think you guys are coming
quickly
back.
open this door. Patrani. The straw and the handbag.
You have the charger, Nick. Did you put back in somewhere?
You guys, let me just show them what they have going on here. They have all their bags packed. Baby's bag, Hona's bag, everything's packed. Okay, you guys, all the best. Let us know how it goes.
And then we drove, right? We drove to the hospital, and they were definitely getting worse because my husband was driving really fast to get us there as soon as possible, right? But like every time I had a contraction, he needed to stop because it was more painful with like the speed he was going at. So he had to slow down until it was gone. So like I was holding his hand on the gears, like I was holding his hand, so whenever I had it I would squeeze it and then he would know to stop and slow down. And yeah, so then that's how the early labor went. And then we got to the hospital, and we went to the emergency room, and then they're like, how can I help you? And we're like, oh, no, I think I'm going to labor. And then cool, they put me in a wheelchair and took me up right to the maternity area or ward or whatever. So yeah, so then we met up with a lady, the nurse. She was a really nice nurse. But then she, like, we did all the signing up or whatever, admission forms, whatever. My husband took care of all of that. And the lady was saying that we're just going to check if I'm dilated or whatever. And also, what were we checking? And also that they were gonna put me on the sonar to check how the baby is, whatever. Because okay, so first she came, she asked, oh, what type of birth did you guys choose? And we're like, no, it was a natural birth. Cool. Then she's like, okay, she's coming, she's gonna check how far dilated I am, whatever. And then later we told her that the baby was not facing the right way, as I told you guys earlier, right? And we were gonna go to the doctor like on a Monday now. And so by this time we're at the hospital, it's like 2 a.m. So that day we was gonna go back to the doctor to like see what we're gonna do about like the positioning and stuff like that. So we told the lady, and then she's like, if the baby is not in that position, like, then I don't think you can have a natural birth, you know what I mean? And we're like, okay. But then she's like, it's okay, we'll just call your doctor later and then he'll come check you. Cool. So yeah, then she checked me when we arrived, and I think I was at a 3 centimeters dilated, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Yeah, 3 centimeters dilated. Cool. And then she's like, okay, cool. Then she put like these thingies on my stomach to check the baby's heartbeat and to measure the contractions. And it was really showing contractions, and the heartbeat was okay, and like it was showing that I was having contractions. So by this time, I'll show you guys another video, I'll show you guys the clip, but like this time I'm like dressed in like the hospital gown, I'm strapped up, and then but I was still in denial that I'm going into labor and this is happening. And you'll even see in the video, I'm just there like, so we don't know if they'll admit me or not, but clearly I was admitted at the time. Hi guys, so I've been having some contractions, and yeah, so we're at the hospital right now. I'm hooked up to these machines to check if the baby's okay, heartbeat, all of that. I don't know if we're gonna be admitted or not, because like my water isn't broken or any of that good stuff. It's just the contractions. So, and later the nurse is gonna check how far I'm dilated. So before she calls the doctor. So yeah, that's what's happening. It's currently, what time is it? 2 a.m. Mr. Daddy to be is there. You can't see him though. It's 20 past 2. So yeah, updates. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, so after we admitted, and my husband had to go down and do the admission forms and everything, and then he went to go get like our bags from the car and whatever, and to go get us something to drink, because the lady said I should drink a lot of liquids, and we had water, but like he went to go get more. So while he was doing that, I was just there laboring in the hospital. So by this time, or before we even drove to the hospital, we had already called our parents that yeah, we're in labor, we're going to the hospital, we're gonna see what they'll say, you know what it is. So cool. So this is like 3 a.m, right? And then we're in the hospital. The nurse said I should like walk up and down, so that's what I was doing. So I was walking up and down. Obviously at this time the pain is getting worse, it's getting like closer together, it's yeah, but like I could still manage it, I guess. So still manageable, still walking up and down. So whenever whenever I would feel it, then I would stop, I'll sway, you know. And I was just walking from like the bed to the bathroom, back to the bath, you know, back like that. And then I remember trying to sleep, and I could not sleep, because every time I would try, then I was hit again with the contraction, and yeah. So eventually I went into the bathroom, and just as I'm walking, I just feel like wetness down my legs, and I'm like, did I just pee? What's happening? You know what I mean? And like I just felt wetness, and I'm like, okay, maybe that is my water breaking, because I don't remember peeing, right? And so when I like try to sit on the pot, like the toilet pot, to check, and like going to like wipe myself, I just see like red, like blood. And so obviously, me having read about it, I knew this was the cervical mucus, because of the like the texture, the way it was, right? So I was like, okay, this is cervical mucus, you know what I mean? So I put it like, yeah. So I was like, okay, this must be happening, because that looks like my water broke, and then it looks like the cervical mucus, which were signs of like labor, right? So my husband came back, and then I told him that, oh my gosh, I think my water broke, and you know, just like update him and stuff like that. So cool. So we were sitting there. Then the contractions kept hitting me. And then the nurse came back like an hour and 30 minutes after the first time, like she checked me. An hour 30 minutes later, she came back, and then she put me on that machine again, and then she checked me, and I was then at like 6 centimeters dilated. And let me just tell you, the checking is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was just really uncomfortable. But anyway, she came, she checked me. I was 6 centimeters dilated, and my contractions were like really close together by this time. And they were really bad, guys. They were so bad. And then so every time I was like hit, my husband would massage me, because the nurse like showed him how to do it. So he would massage me, and I promise you guys, it was the only thing that helped me survive those contractions, those massages, because like it was bad. It was it was bad. So by this time I'm feeling all woozy. I started feeling dizzy. I was like, I was shaking. It's like I wasn't myself. It's like I don't know, something happened that it's like I was not conscious about what was happening, you know what I mean? I was like feeling dizzy, I was shaking, like I was shivering, like I was getting so cold. It was crazy. And so then the nurses had promised me like a bath, and I was like, where's this bath? I need to, because this is bad. And I was like, I had chosen to do natural birth because I wanted to see if I could handle it. So if I could handle it, then I would then do that for, God willing, obviously, if it's possible, for like possible future children and future pregnancies. So I was like, by that time I was like ready, man. I was like, once that nurse comes back, or after I go in that bath, I'm going to ask for something to help with the pain, because it was bad. So yeah, then we called the nurse and we asked them like, can they like run a bath for me, and she was like, okay, she'll do so. Then she was gone for a long time, and I remember being so frustrated, like, where's this nurse? I need like some sort of relief because it is bad. And then later she came and she's like, okay, we can go. So this was now like around 5 a.m. So she said we can go. So as we're walking, she's like, I should walk to the place, to the like a different room where the bath is. And I thought this nurse was trying to kill me, because I was like, how? I cannot walk, how? So yeah, I did it. Every time I had a contraction, we had to stop, and then we'd go on. And then once we got to the room, my husband told the nurse that, no, she said she's feeling a little dizzy, a little faint. And then she's like, okay, we'll give her something for that. So before I could go in the bath, she was saying, let me just give you like the drip, like put you on a drip to give you like energy, because I was feeling all faint and stuff. So she put me on the drip. No, so she was trying to like get the things ready to put me on the drip, right? She had not put me on the drip yet. And so then she did that, and then like in the process of doing that, then I was telling her that, okay, actually I need to get up because I feel like I need to go to the bathroom. And obviously by this I had research, and I knew like if you feel like you're going to the bathroom, it's time. And she's like, no, hold on, let me just put on the drip for you. And I'm like, I need to go. And she's like, no, just hold on, just breathe, you know what I mean? And so yeah, she put me on the drip, and then she checked me before, like, I guess putting me in the bath. So when she's checking me, she checked, and then I was like, okay, how far am I now? She's there like, no, you're almost there. And I'm like, how far? But she's like, you're almost there, right? No, yes. She she checked me first before she put the drip on. And she's like, just hold on, I'm just gonna put in the drip. And then they're trying to call my doctor. So yeah. So obviously it was like time for me to like get the ball rolling. So I was like, I had this strong urge to go to the bathroom. Like it was so strong. So I'm like, I don't know. It was strong. And then they would tell me, no, just breathe. And I'm like, and I don't understand what she means by just breathe, because I am breathing, you know what I mean? And then like my husband next to me is just there like, babe, like that's what I should do. And then I just like copied what he did, and I was like, just to breathe like that instead of like holding my breath in, if that makes sense. And so basically once they had, I guess, rushed to sort things out, it was time, because this baby was coming whether I liked it or not, and my doctor wasn't there yet. So we pushed. So I started like pushing, but my doctor wasn't there yet. I remember when I started pushing, my doctor had not arrived yet. But yeah, but then he arrived just in time, but I think I had already started pushing. And so then he came, and then I don't know, I don't know what was happening there. So I pushed, and then the doctor, I think they put like something like a sucking mechanism on like the baby's head. And according to my husband, because he could see everything, the baby had not like turned. You remember how the baby was supposed to have turned to face like my back, but the baby was still like this. So then I guess the doctor put that sucking thing, I guess, to help the baby come out. because obviously I'm already in labor, it's already active, the pushing has started. There was no way I could have gone to like C-section or whatever, or I don't think. So as they were trying, and so as I was pushing, I just remember feeling this feeling of like, I don't know, it's some like really, really, really painful feeling. And then I also remember just saying, oh, that was a painful one. I think it was a push. And I was like, oh, that was a painful one. I think that was like when the head was coming out. And so then the doctor like put the sucking thing in. And then it turned out that the umbilical cord was like wrapped around the baby's like neck. So the doctor took like a couple of scissors and then he cut a bit, and then I think once he cut the umbilical cord that was around her neck, she just flipped like the proper way, the way she was supposed to be. Then she just flipped and then boom, she was out. So basically she came out in like 3 pushes. So the first one, which was really, really painful, and then 2 more pushes, and then she was out. So then she was out. She was born like a few minutes before 6 a.m. like 5:50 something a.m. right? So yeah, and after she was born, they just put her on me. Like I just remember them putting just the baby on me and like opening my gown up so we could do skin to skin. And yeah, then my doctor was pressing on my stomach, I guess, for the placenta to come out, right? And then I think I got a little, like I tore a bit, and so my doctor was just stitching me up right there while they were measuring baby girl. And yeah, that's basically how it went. And obviously I came out of that experience with one saying, your contractions hurt and they're really, really bad. But I think after I started pushing, I didn't feel them anymore. So I cannot really explain how they felt. All I know it was they were bad. But like after you start pushing, you just don't feel them anymore. And then the second thing is, your giving birth will humble you, because I was literally just bare on that table, like just out there. You know what I mean? So yeah. So thank God for like the birth, because I think it could have been really worse. The fact that, first of all, that she was facing the wrong side. Second of all, that there was a umbilical cord around her neck. It could have been something really bad, and it could have had bad news instead of like the news that it was. So I'm really, really thankful to God that he was with me during that time, and everything like went smoothly. And went pretty fast. It happened so fast, because by the time we're calling our like our parents, they're like, what, you already done? Wow, you know what I mean? So I'm also very thankful that it went it was a quick one. It didn't like take long. I mean, in the hospital, I think I was there for like 3 hours and a couple of minutes before like baby came out. So yeah. So yeah, baby girl's name is Rianje. Fully, it's a hetero name. Fully means Rianje Kumuhona, give yourself to the Lord. So that is her name. I remember when we picked it, we were going back and forth about like what type of name we want to give our baby. And you see, I would come up with a name, and then my husband would be like, no. Or he would come up with a name, and I'd be like, no, you know what I mean? So we had a couple of names that we had in store, and we're like, we'll just see. Okay, I had to freeze that quickly just to mention that when we came up with the name Rianje, though, we just both instantly loved it, just like that. Yeah, and we were very adamant that we wanted the first name to be a hetero name, because hetero names are so beautiful. Or like, personally, I feel like hetero names are so beautiful. So we wanted baby girl to have a hetero name, but like a name that like meant something to us. So that's where we came up with like Rianje Kumuhona. So her name is Rianje, and yeah, we call her Ria. But yeah, that is my birth story. That's how it went, and that's how I got to meet my sweet little baby, who's crying at the moment. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she's crying. But don't worry, she's with my sisters, and her father's also here. I heard him. So yeah, that is my birth story. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not really good at storytelling. I'm pretty sure I repeated myself so many times and I was talking in circles. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you've watched till this point, please leave a brown heart in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. Share, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the squad, join the Kurl-squad. Yes, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.